Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTube. How are we all going? It's been a long time. I just looked at the last video, and it's actually been around 7 months, which has been quite some time. So yeah, sorry for just sort of disappearing a little bit in the fashion that I did. Um, Obviously, the deck wasn't in a very good place. I think there was general amount of frustration that was probably quite visible from my content. And yeah, the plan and the arrangement and almost the promise to you guys was to select a different deck to one trick. I told myself that I would sort of take a couple of weeks off, and just to recharge a little bit before I get back into it all. Um, and you know what? I sort of enjoyed that time off a little bit too much, and really, I was not all that motivated to go back to it and go back to the grind. So yeah, that put us in the position where I did mean to make a video to address it and maybe to transition into something else. I thought about transitioning into Pokemon Unite for a while there, but then I was not all that passionate about that game. I played it like a few times in the first week it came out, and then I never played it again since. Um, all right, so yeah, here we are. It's 7 months later. We're in 2022, um, and yeah, so I think it's probably quite important to address some of my reasons on why I think the viabilities of Bogles was decreasing throughout the online metagame, and in general format health. Um, and I think when we got towards Modern Horizons 2 and towards me quitting, I made the point that if they weren't going to try and balance the format, balance the decks, take it back down to the mission statement of being a turn 4 format, removing really, really powerful decks, powerful cards like Dryad of Elysian Grove, things like that. Before Modern Horizons 2 got printed, then post Modern Horizons 2 printing, the policing of the format health and things like that, I was skeptical as to how much that would be done. And I do genuinely think from what we've seen so far, they're not really that willing to ban things. I think Magic as a corporation, I believe it's owned by Hasbro at the moment, and yeah, they're mostly interested about making money and not about what the players want and nothing like that. So um, Nikachi has a lot of videos on that topic. If you want to go check out some of those, he talks a lot about it, and the fact that Magic Online is being handed over to someone new who wants to turn around and actually reinvest all the money Magic Online is making back into Magic Online to make it a better and more usable platform. So that's sort of exciting news. Um, so yeah, obviously I took some time off. I was frustrated with the format that was, in my opinion, affecting the quality of my content that I was creating. I definitely feel like I was getting a little bit burnt out from just trying to keep up with it all, trying to come up with a solution, things of that nature. And I don't think I was the only one out there, and I probably haven't been the only one since. I think it's a pretty wild and harsh format, and a lot of the times you're gonna just have to switch to the best deck to if you want to remain competitive at a high level. Um, I'm sort of seeing a little bit of a pattern where Wizards are going after various decks, various formats. So, and they're sort of taking a popular format, grabbing as much cash as they can out of it, while completely disrupting what the format previously was. And then moving on to the next one. So we've seen some pretty big changes in EDH and very, very big changes in Legacy. And now they've just transitioned onto Modern. Obviously, they had other formats they released, like Pioneer, that really did not do that well. It started off fantastic, and due to a lack of policing, it just sort of died, which is unfortunate. Okay, so I hope something changes in that regard. But if not, maybe the game's just going to slowly fiddle out and come to an end. And I hope that's not the case, but it's definitely a possibility. All right, so I did actually make the decision a while ago to sell my online collection as well at the same time as me stopping. Probably about a month later, I sold my online collection. My partner and I were, of course, looking at purchasing a house, which we now have successfully done. We've moved into it. We've got a lovely dog. We adopted him. He's 7 years old. He's got a bit of a sore ankle with some arthritis, but other than that, he's very healthy and a big giant sook. But yeah, definitely. I was using a rental from Mana Traders and I was coupling that a little bit with my streaming stuff that I was doing. And, during the application process, I wanted to reduce as many costs as possible to increase the likelihood that an application would be accepted by the bank. So I made the decision to stop using that Mana Trade service, which is a monthly subscription. And at the same time as doing that, I turned around and sold my online collection, just because I didn't see another opportunity that I'd get to do that. Obviously, they offer about 90 cents a ticket. I sold a lot of my cards for probably a fair bit less than what they were worth online-wise. But yeah, ended up with I think it was almost 1,000 tickets, maybe a bit more or something like that. And just took my money, withdrew it and ran. So that's where that was at. But obviously my partner and I are in our house now. We're living quite comfortably, getting by fine, working the grind and all of that. I am actually looking at getting back into content creation, of course. I'm not sure if I'm going to start with the crazy world that is Modern at the moment. I don't think it's an awful time for Bogles in the current metagame. I think it will still pop up as a metagame deck every now and then, but I just don't want to outlay as much money as it would be required to build that deck right now. I'm actually thinking of getting into Pauper, a format that I really previously had not given much attention to, much time to. But let me just hide this one here. We did get some new additions with Kawagama, which look pretty sweet, and overall I think the deck's looking pretty clean at the moment. So Spirited Companion is an addition to the deck. It's an enchantment creature dog. So it has that enchantment typing. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Just a 1/1 for 2 mana. Nothing too exciting, but hey, it replaces itself drawing a card. It counts as an enchantment. There was a Pauper challenge, and this deck came 6th in it, which is pretty significant. In addition to that, there was Commune with Spirits that was printed. So look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an enchantment or land card from among them, put it into your hand, rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So that's that. Obviously, for those of you that are not familiar with the format, it's a common only format. So cards that have been printed in common can be played. Cards that have not been printed in common don't get played. Alright, so that's what that is. So the game plan is pretty similar with the deck. You've got your hexproof creatures, you've got some auras. There's a few differences though. So we've still got the regular appearances of cards like Rancor and Ethereal Armor, everyone's favorite aura combos. But the mana base is pretty trimmed down. It's forests, 14 forests, 1 plane, and a Cave of Temptation, which is a brown mana, and you can sink an extra land into adding 1 mana of any color. In addition to this, for mana fixing, it utilizes Abundant Growth, ETB, draw a card, tap the land to add 1 mana of any color, and also Utopia Sprawl. Pawns is pet, but obviously comes down, name green or white, whatever your flavor is. This one has to enchant a forest though, but you know, pretty much all your lands are forests in the deck. Other cards that you might not be familiar with, Unburied Growth is in here as a however you say that. Sorry about that. As another mana sink card with the ability to sacrifice it to draw a card. So later game, you can get rid of it to draw some gas. So Ancestral Mask is, I guess, Ethereal Armor on steroids. It's a 3 mana green version, which is pretty strong. And then Armadillo Cloak, which is sort of like Unflinching Courage, but with the Spirit Link trigger attached to it instead of the Life Link. And yeah, if you look at that list compared to the previous list, which were running things like Silhana Ledgewalker, Heliod's Pilgrim, maybe some Cartouche in there as well, it actually looks a lot like a more clean list in my opinion. So yeah, that's something I'm thinking about doing, getting back into. I'm not sure. Like, let me know in the comments. I know I've said that a million times. Do you think I should utilize this channel space or start a new and different channel for Pioneer content? It's up to you. I would probably lean towards just continuing with this channel and with plans in the future to go and continue into Modern and getting back into Modern as well. Alright, so I'll probably wrap this up shortly, but I just wanted to go over something else. So obviously we had quite a bit of success with the channel throughout the channel's history with the banned variant of the deck, and I'm really quite proud of that as an achievement. I know towards the end it wasn't pulling its weight, but all this time later, I go and look at lists and I see a lot of similar inclusions and choices in the lists here. Still, people are persisting with Core Spirit Dancer in the deck, and that just confuses me a little bit from its vulnerability. But that's fine. People are entitled to play the creature they want to play there. But as far as the overall makeup of the deck, the utilization of force, even down to the mana base, like this mana base is very, very similar to what I was running back in the day. I remember I was pretty strong on the 4 mana Confluence. This deck's obviously for a few less. It's got 2 Hallowed Fountain, 2 Temple Garden. I think I only had a combination of 3, not a combination of 4 there. With a few more fetch lands and, you know, a couple of basics as well. I think potentially I was running 3 as basics as well, and a Dryad Arbor, but obviously the land destruction's gone down a little bit as of recent, probably because Tron's just not getting played as much. But overall, like, I'm very proud that the list has mostly stood the test of time. There has been some talk about companion bannings or Lurrus being banned, obviously, because it has skewed the metagame pretty significantly in a lot of ways. For me personally, I don't think Lurrus being banned would be a big deal for the deck, for us. My reasoning behind that is we just don't utilize the card nearly as well as other decks out there. The Misha Bobble decks, the Death Shadow ones in particular, with Hand Disruption, Misha's Bobble, creature removal, all of that sort of stuff. They just do a much better job at abusing Lurrus than we do. In my opinion, I don't think it's that strong in Bogles. It's a nice free card. Occasionally, it will win you a game. It's probably worth the sideboard slot, and that's about it. Um, but yeah, I think I'd be okay with that. I've actually had a decent idea in my opinion, as of recent, that I think could have some legs, and that's including some of the elementals in the list. So, obviously, as we've discussed before, Bogles is a deck that likes to tap out on its own turn, so it can utilize the damage from its auras / card draw, and yeah, so. My idea is, Force Negation's obviously fantastic in the deck, but including cards like Solitude, and Submerge. I'm not sure about the exact numbers. As you can see, the deck here it's pretty tight for slots. But yeah, I think there could really be something there. Maybe a combination of. It's hard to say. Obviously, you'd be removing Lurrus from the deck if you're going full elementals, because Lurrus is not going to function with those in the deck. But maybe you could have 3 Force, 3 Submerge in the main deck, and then like another 2 Solitude with the remainder of the cards in the sideboard, a playset of each sort of thing. Is it Submerge? I think it's Submerge. The blue elemental that puts a creature or planeswalker spell on top of bottom of its owner's library, their choice. But that could really have some promise there. I do believe that, and if you're fully loaded on cards like Curious Obsession, cards like Staggering Insight, you can make up for that. And just like having that tempo, having the ability to rock that tempo could be really, really strong. If you come up against a Death Shadow deck, you could kill potentially all their Death Shadows and Skyclave, Mull of the Skyclave, the black Skyclave creature. You could kill like 4 of them at once, sort of thing. It's like fantastic. But yeah, I think that idea really has some good legs. And yeah, just another side note, I'm kind of impressed that Aqueous Form has stood the test of time in the deck, because I was hesitant to include it. And I know it's only included as like a 2 of here. And in a lot of the lists I've looked at, that's been the case. But yeah, it's pretty strong. Just having that unblockable ability, even if it doesn't add a stat. And the following on can be pitched to a force or something. Even cards here like Tail's End, like that was a random sideboard card we mucked around with for a while there. It's still getting an appearance here. I've seen Lavinia popping up in some other decks, which has been pretty exciting as well. So definitely proud of some accomplishments there. So yeah, other than that, I think something I should probably talk about is I do still see a lot of magic stuff going on. I do still have my paper collection, by the way. I have not sold that yet. I've been meaning to at least sell some of it, but haven't gotten around to it. Posting cards is a pain in the ass, and there's not enough time in the week as there is. But yeah, definitely I'm concerned. I've been concerned. It's been 7 months since I stopped playing here, and I've seen the same trend continuously. So originally in Australia, here where we are, when cards went up on the marketplace on various Facebook groups, things like that, staples of the format, as you would have it, they get like snapped up almost instantly, like within 10 minutes or 15 minutes someone's already reserved them, they're taking them. I see people posting a lot of cards online and not many people snapping them up. Like, I'm concerned. I think that there might be a large number of players out there, or ex-players out there, are of a similar opinion and as me, where they're just not confident in that investment in that real estate and they're looking to move it on. But then there's the buyer hesitancy because no one's really looking to purchase them. Maybe it's different overseas. Australia is obviously a reasonably small population. And we haven't had any big events here yet. In America, you've had some Grand Prix, I believe. But yeah, none of that here, and obviously that's going to take a while with everything coming out of COVID and still recovering and things like that. But yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Regardless of any of that, I'm still going to look to move into Pauper, and I need to do that soonish. So hopefully I have a video up for that within a week or something. I have made the decision to go back out to soccer, try and lose some of this gut that I've put on over the last little while, and so far I'm down about 6 kilos, which is kind of quite nice. There's still, of course, a little bit more to go. Yeah, but I think that is getting towards wrapping this video up. It's now been going for a good 20 odd minutes. Yeah, I do also have the I plan to make another video about what I did, mistakes I made basically as a YouTuber, things that worked well for me as a magic YouTuber, things that didn't. And just, yeah, one other thing in addition to that is if you're interested in showcasing the deck in a modern light, like, reach out and get in contact with me. I'm happy to promote you on a quick little video to people. I'm sure people would be happy to have someone out there that's ready to drive the content creation force for modern again. I'd even be happy to maybe do a league with the person. We can do some dual commentary or something. But yeah, that's it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing me. I'm sorry I've been absent for so long, and yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll be seeing you online soon. Cheers.